Hello, everyone. Welcome to Teacher Stories. This particular edition is a very special one because it's our Lifters Spotlights. Lifters Spotlights. Yes, so everyone on the show is a member of the Lift community. Now, if you're just hearing Lift for the first time, Lift is an acronym for LinkedIn for Teachers. On Lift, we encourage collaboration, we challenge each other to improve, of course, and then we recommend opportunities, if any. So, mostly, we create a space, yeah, where teachers feel supported enough to step forward. My name is Ibiere, and if you are just coming across our channel for the first time, please subscribe, like, and share our videos so that we can meet or reach out to more teachers and have people tell their stories, because on Teacher Stories, we believe that teachers matter and our voices need to be heard. Now, let's us do all the introductions. First, you have our co-host, who is Miss Mary Temi Tokpe. Miss Mary, welcome to the show. We are
Good
back.
evening, man.
Good evening, Miss Mary. How are you today?
Very well, thank you, man. And you?
Okay, Miss Mary is also known as at Semerald underscore the global teacher. She's an early years Montessori educator. She's a teacher mentor and education entrepreneur. She specializes in child-centered learning, teacher development, and the integration of innovative tools, including AI, of course, to improve teaching and learning outcomes. She also designs learning resources and support schools and parents in nurturing confident, well-rounded learners. That's our co-host. Miss Mary, I want to use this opportunity to thank you for agreeing to co-host Teacher Stories with me. Okay, so we will go ahead and introduce all our guests. Um, our first guest is Miss Neka Okafo. I think she's having a network glitch, but we'll just go ahead and introduce her. She is known as the Oak. I like the way I'm saying it. Miss Mary, can you see the way I'm saying it? The Oak.
Oh,
She's going to tell us why she's called the Oak. She's Neka Okafo. She's a certified Cambridge IGCSE AS/A level physics teacher and tutor, and she is an assessment specialist for two international exam boards. She is a go-to educator rather, when it comes to school improvement, learner guidance, and exam prep. She is a STEM learner manager for all UK exam boards, IB and NC UK Foundation. She will join us soon once her network allows her to be part of us. And our other guests, remember I said everybody here is a lift or a member of the lift. So we call ourselves lifters. So our other guest is Oge Anita. She is a BAED holder and an early years tutor. And she says she's been teaching for 6 years now, and teaching was something she stumbled into and later discovered that she had a passion for. And then apart from that, she was actually good, or she's actually good at it. Everybody, welcome Anita Oge. Let's
you're
have
welcome,
some
man.
round of applause. Okay, our Oak is back. Okay. Hi, Miss Neka. Can we hear your voice? Say hello.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm glad to be here.
And we are glad to have you here. I've already done the introductions, and I was
Thank
just
you.
pronouncing the oak with an attitude.
You
The
did very well. You did very well. I
Thank
like how you
you.
did
Yes.
it.
Or the first time
Thank
you,
you.
you even sent your profile to me, I just saw the oak. I'm like, wow, I like this. This is a story I would like to hear. Okay, so let's start with you, ma'am. Can you tell
Yeah.
us how did it all start for you?
Okay. Good evening once again, and thank you very much for bringing me on. Um, my story is a long one, but it's one of choice. That's one a very important thing. I chose to be a teacher, so I think I'm called to be a teacher, and I I heard that call early enough in my life and I answered to it. I didn't have any double mind whether to go into teaching or not. So I realized that I have flair for teaching others when I was in secondary school. You know, those days in public government school, sometimes you don't have teachers in some subjects, and you just have to find your way. And sometimes, even when you have teachers, you know, teachers' attitude is not a thing of today. So sometimes you have teachers, and the timetable says you have this subject, and maybe the teacher is taking time to arrive. So I find out that when such occasion comes up, I will just go in front of the class and I start teaching my classmates. And when I teach them, because they were my classmates, I could speak their own language, the language they could understand. So I knew what their problems were because we were interacting almost at the same level. So when the teacher was not there, I have to stand in front of the class and I'll teach them. And they will confess to me that, oh, when you teach us, we understand better than when the teacher is here. Well, I would say little me, but I know there was nothing magical there. It's just, you know, bringing things down to their own level, the way it will make sense. And from that time on, I knew that I loved to teach. I love to teach. So while um, going for admission into Nigerian University, you know, our regular jam, I just filled my form. I want to study education physics. And my father asked me, oh, you want to become a teacher? I said, yes. He said, oh, my daughter, go, you have my blessing. So I didn't have issue with my parents. They allowed me to choose what I wanted to study. So teaching for me was a call, and I answered that call because I just feel good, you know, putting others through when they don't understand, breaking things down to the barest minimum. Because I believe that we can all understand stuff if only someone knows how to break it down for us, speak our own language, come to our own level. We will understand it, and therefore, I don't believe that any child is dull. It's just who is that teacher that has the patience that understands how this child wants to learn and able to put this child through. So that's how I got enrolled into a university to be trained as a physics teacher. And you know, it was quite rigorous. It was quite rigorous, but because it's what I chose. I didn't belong to that bad wagon that would say, oh, physics is difficult to study. No, I was a regular normal student. When students see the way I dress and do my things, they will say, ah, I think, are you not studying physics again? I say, I'm studying, and so what? They say, you don't look like someone studying that. I said, do they look in a special way? Say, you have to look haggard, you have to look dry, you have to. I said, well, it's not for me. For me, I'm having fun studying it. Of course, sometimes it was tough, but we put heads together and we cracked the nuts and we kept enjoying it. And being a regular student, I was enjoying other things. I'll play table tennis, I'll go do other things. I was just normal. And I graduated very, very well. I graduated very, very well with a very good result. So I chose to be trained as a teacher. And I think they trained me well. They trained me well. And when I came out, I enjoyed it. No matter the school I went into, I enjoyed teaching. So that thing I found in myself when I was in secondary school teaching my classmates, it still kept me going. That's anywhere you met learners, learners remain learners. They just need a guide. So I volunteered myself. And one of the things that prepared me when I was in secondary school was the girl children, they used to be almost afraid of this subject called physics. And then some of the teachers we met those days, they didn't make it very easy for us, you know, when they come to the class and they brag and tell you it is difficult. Why would a teacher tell learners that the subject is difficult?
It's
So what are you
difficult.
doing there as a teacher? It is your duty to make them to love the subject. But I think,
Mm.
you know, God did something wonderful in my life. And one of those days in secondary school, one charming lady was brought our way, and she actually was a student teacher. She came to do her teaching practice, and I was wowed. She was charming, loving, and smart. So I see that as a challenge. If this young chap can do it, I can do it. So that was a source of motivation for me, and I embraced it, and I challenged myself that I
Yes.
can do it. And since that time, my story goes on. Wherever I find myself, that teacher that will be able to come to the students' level, break things down for them, and they will understand. All that we will hear is, oh, so is this easy? I say, yes. everything is easy when we come down to the fundamentals. I think I can stop here for now until I get more questions from you.
Of course, of course. Okay, so you're one of those people who had the call to teach. I envy people like
Yes.
you. You know why? I envy people like you. People like you don't struggle with teaching. If you have
No,
the
I
call, you have
don't.
the passion. Yes, don't struggle with it. It comes to you easily. It's not like us, people like me, who just stumbled on teaching, and then along the line the bug of passion will now beat us, and then we become passionate about it. We see that we like what we do. But before that time we will struggle a little bit. You're trying to adjust. You're trying to find out
Yeah.
what's going on here. Are you really in the right place? But people like you who already have the passion, you don't need to struggle. It just comes easily. you know that story is for myself and Miss Oge. Miss Oge, that seemed to be your story, right? You stumbled on
Yes, yes,
teaching.
it is.
Okay, you tell us how you started, please.
Okay. Hello, everyone. It's nice to be
Hi.
on the show. Thank you for having me. Okay, so like you said, I stumbled on teaching. Now, it happened that after secondary school, I didn't get into the university immediately. So I kept
Okay.
on writing them. I think I wrote two. I was applying. So I was at a point where I felt I just wanted to be admitted. Whatever course you give me, I will study. I didn't have a choice in that. So it happened that I got the admission, and then I was given teacher and teacher studies certification. Now trust me, that was the first time I heard about that course. I didn't know it existed. But then I accepted, and then if there's one thing I do is that I want to be good at everything I do. I am that person that wants to give it my best. Okay, yes, we are in the system now. Let's give it our best. Now, the first 1 year I struggled, just like you said, because I needed to find my placing. I needed to know what all of this is about. Now we're learning child psychology. We're learning all of those things that were strange to me. And but I was open-minded to it. And then the first time I entered the classroom was in my year 3 when we were supposed to go out for our teaching practice
Okay.
exercise. Now I started teaching, and somehow I was assigned to the early years class. Now, if there's anything that caught my attention with this, it's their curiosity, like they want to learn, and then you see that excitement in their face anytime they finally get it. That thumbs up, that you did great, like their entire world is lighted up and all of that. So I was like, oh wow. So it gave me this satisfaction that a learner is sitting under my tutelage, and then at the end of the day they are learning that concept that they may not know before the class started. And
Okay.
at the end of that teaching practice, I got an A in my teaching practice. In fact, I was the only person that had an A in the entire department.
Wow.
It was a big
Nice.
deal. But they had to review. They took me to the HOD. They had to go through the entire process because I didn't know that it was a big deal. I was just doing my thing. But later on, they said it was not something that was regular in the department. So after then, 400 level again, we went for the same teaching practice exercise. Then I'd already blended into all of it. And then when I was done with school, I I had already developed the passion. So I was already now doing home tutoring for kids and all
Okay.
of that. And that was how I just continued. Because and then I chose early years. I chose early years. I decided to stick with early years because I don't know, but yes, I know it can be challenging for you to have
It's not.
them
It's not.
blend in.
It's not.
Their
It can be
intentions
challenging. Sorry, Miss Oge. It's not. It can be challenging. It is challenging. It is challenging. See Miss Rahina's question here. Early years attracted you. How? Please answer that because I will not go anywhere
okay.
near LA. I will not go anywhere near them.
Now it is challenging, but now you see one thing with early years is that they
Yes.
are lovable.
Ah,
They are pure in heart, and you don't have to do too much to impress them. They just want to
Okay.
know that they just want to know that you have them at heart, that you care about them aside the learning, and like they are giving you their all. Now, I stay at home and then I miss these children doing. You early years is a place that when you go home, you remember all the joke and you start laughing again. It is the early years that you find that you will remember everything, the activities in the class, and then you start laughing again. And even when you're tired, when you remember those curious faces that will hug you when you come to class the next morning, it
Yes.
makes me want to wake up again and go to class. Yes, so
Wow.
that's why I chose early years. That is it with early years. They are open minded, they are eager to learn. They don't have mood swing. There's nothing like they are thinking about or they don't like your face. If you offend them
I get it.
in the next 30 minutes, you are done. In the next 30 minutes, you are done. They have moved on and life goes on. So early years was just it for me. And then I found joy now. And over the years, I had kept on working on myself. I took courses to improve. I started writing books to help some of those concepts. Now, just think about a concept. I started creating songs to make learning fun. I started creating pictures to teach in class and all of that. Now, crafting and the rest of that, I started developing ideas, and it's just it.
I'm
Has
blown
been
away.
quite.
I'm blown away. You need to see this question. Miss Rahina is asking, like you deliberately, you just decided that you are going to choose early years. Who does that? I'm also blown away. Like I'm wondering, who does that?
I,
And you talk
I am
about them
sure
so passionately.
you can relate.
Yes, I was about to go to Miss Mary. Miss Mary, you can relate, Abby.
Yes, I can relate. In fact, Miss Anita, you nailed it.
Mm.
Saying,
So what
That
happens to people like us
most
that
times,
don't choose early years? I won't choose early years any day, anytime. I'm not even going anywhere near there. Please.
no, no, no. Early years is fun, is interesting, and every day you keep learning from those kids. You keep learning from them because they have different ways they learn, and then you get to understand some things. So, which means this learner can actually learn this way. At times, I have their videos on my phone that when I'm bored at home, I just put on my phone and then I start watching. And I
I
start,
do
if I will
too.
start laughing, like, they are so cool to be with. Like, when you want to teach them, you have to behave just like them. You want to teach them how a dog barks, you will bark like a dog. And then when they see you barking, they'll be like, wow, wow, wow. No, 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 no. Elias, no, no. It's so interesting. I can relate to you, Tanika.
I'm seeing that you're relating already. Miss Mary, do you have any question for Miss Anita? I think that the Oak has issues with her network, so let's keep Miss Anita on the hot seat. Miss Anita, Miss Mary.
Okay, let's just move to the topic we have for today, which is why traditional schools are failing in future professionals.
Yeah.
Now, Mrs. Anita, when you hear the topic, why traditional schools are failing the future professionals, what comes to your mind first? What is that thing that comes to your mind when you hear that topic? Traditional schools are failing the future professionals. We are the professionals. Yes, we are the future professionals
Yes.
because we are no longer operating the old way again. So, what comes to your mind when you hear that? Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. I I want to share this very short story. Now, something happened in the school where I worked. I left them last year. Yes, last year September. Now something happened. Now they had been existing for over 30 years. Now you can imagine how long they have been, and they are just so used to the way they do things because they believe it has produced results for them. People have graduated, they have had people who are pursuing careers in life already. Now, something I approached the director of the school and I wanted sharing some ideas with her. Something as simple as us switching with the way we submit our lesson plan. So now they believe in just writing. Just write in your book and then you submit. And then I approached her and I was like, this is already old. Can we just switch to submitting our lesson plans using, we have AI tools now, technologies are springing up every day, and we can actually do better than just writing. Can we have it submitted via emails? Now, the school does not have a website.
Wow.
To start with, they do not have a website. But I wanted, okay, before we get to the point of that, let's submit via email, or at least, okay, let's use WhatsApp. That's it. And she said that she does not understand this. So cannot, that was how she told me that day. I didn't know how to react to the entire thing, but she told me, she said, I cannot understand you people, all these modern things people are doing. Me, I don't understand it. Let's just stick to the paper and file it. Just be writing it in your notebook and be submitting it. I didn't know how to react. And then I said, okay, ma. And then I left. So, but you can just imagine how other experts were going to be. Now, they are so used to the traditional way of doing things. I am a professional. In fact, one time I told her, I said, "Ma, I am a 21st century citizen. You cannot expect me to continue acting this way. I will be failing myself. I am going to be building myself in a system that no longer works. So it cannot work for me." But that's what a lot of schools have been doing. Now they now make it impossible, if that's the word to use, for teachers to grow, to be able to adapt to our new world. They are not familiar with AI tools, they are not familiar with Canva, they are not familiar with Google tools and Google Sites. And it's affecting the way we teachers are going to function. I'm not sure if that has answered the question.
Yes,
Hello, can you hear me?
yes, I can
Yes,
hear you, ma'am.
and
It has answered the question. Like when we're talking, I heard you when you had the management that if the teachers can start submitting their lesson note through WhatsApp or any other means, and the management or head of school said, I cannot understand this. Like she said that I cannot understand it. Not even I don't. That means she's already saying, even if you teach me, I don't think I can
Yes,
understand.
I offered to teach. I offered to teach and probably teach other teachers as well on how we can
Wow.
go about this. I think it's something that can be doable. I can teach. We can, it's just, yes, it will be difficult for the first 1, 2 months, but trust me, we'll blend and we'll do better. And then we can pick up other things. But she said, no, it can't work that way. That was when it dawned
Wow.
on me that that was not a place for me to be. I had to take a bow.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Over to you, Mrs. Iberima.
okay, so Ms. Rahina says that there are schools that are very younger. There are schools that are way younger and they are still stuck on writing. Likewise, there are schools as old as that, and they have also moved on to the modern way. I would like to add that there are schools that are way older that are still stuck on writing. Example is the public school I work with. I think that the public schools here in River State, I cannot speak for all the public schools in Nigeria, but I think that the public schools here in River State are still stuck on writing. So we still write all our lesson notes manually. We submit all our reports manually. And I don't know, I think that the government should look into it because it's a bit stressful for us, especially those of us who are now exposed to the modern way of doing things. We are still stuck in the old ways. I think that the oak is having network glitches, so she keeps coming up, and we pray that she's able to get stable network soon. So I think that at this point, the government has to do something. It's not just about organizing conferences. The last conference they organized virtually that I watched, they organized it physically and I watched virtually. They gave us some monetary rewards. 25 million, 50 million to outstanding teachers. I don't know why. I didn't know when they did the competition, what criteria they use in selecting those teachers, but I'm
Yeah.
assuming that those teachers are public school teachers, because I saw some of the agitation in the comment section where someone was saying that the private school teachers are being sidelined. Now, if the government school teachers or the government school system is still writing lesson notes, not inculcating or introducing AI into our learning methodologies, then how did you now make those teachers best teachers? You made them
Exactly.
best
Yeah.
teachers on local way of writing. There are a lot of things I struggle with in the school, but we just hope that over time, that's why we have teacher stories. We tell the stories, we talk about our challenges. The government needs to do better. They need to do better by us. We have gone beyond writing notes. But I don't know, the only government or public school teacher I know on Lyft is Miss Abiola. I don't know who else is a public school teacher. I will need to confirm with her if they still write with paper and pen, because from what I heard, they've transitioned into doing using digital tools for their learning. But we do hope that we can, try and change it a little thing. It's tiring. The oak. Can you hear us, Miss Neka? Okay, so Miss Rahina says it's not the government that has to do it. You can speak to your principal. I'm sorry, Miss Rahina. The government runs the school. Even if you change the school system on how you write your notes, say you write, let's say we do go digital, for instance, and we tell our principal that we want to be using our systems to generate lesson notes and lesson plan, type it out. We have supervisors that come from the state government. If they are not used to that system, they will not approve your work, because what they do is they come to schools, they look at our notebooks, they look at our lesson plans, they look at what we are doing. Sometimes I come across a supervisor who has taught biology before and she's scrutinizing my work. If I have a note that does not have diagrams, and she's asking me, why don't you have diagrams drawn on paper? So we can't actually just wake up and change the system like that. Okay, Miss Janet is also a government teacher. Okay, awesome. So we have I'm having teacher story. Our next edition will have government teachers come online. That's our next edition. So I do hope that we can have government teachers talk about our challenges in the next edition. So Miss Neka, are you here with us? Can you hear us now? I'm aching to ask you how the name the oak came about. Can you hear us, ma'am? I'd like to hear that story. Okay, so while we're waiting for her, Miss Oge, when did you join Lyft?
I joined Lyft last year. That
Yes.
was in, I think, November or December, but not long ago.
Okay. So
Yes.
you've done one
I
challenge.
reached, yes, I reached out to, I can't remember her name, now, but I reached out to her on LinkedIn and then asked her if she has a teacher community that I can join.
So how has it been since?
Then
How has it been so far?
it has been inspiring. Yes. I love the fact that I have to hear the way other teachers see the teaching profession. You know, we are in a stage where the teaching profession, yes, it's coming up now. I am grateful to God, but the teaching profession has really been overlooked, and a lot of people, the teacher is beginning the teaching profession is beginning to lose that spark we used to have. Now, as someone who read history, I remember history taught us that there used to be a time that teachers were held with high esteem in the community, like they were respected. When they passed the entire community, that name teacher was a big name. And then somehow, after the Nigerian government took over teaching, took over schools, it went down. We began to experience the downward slope. So I needed to be in a place where I am motivated to be a teacher. Yes, I've been teaching for 6 years, but it is really not very long time compared to those that have been teaching for 15, 20 years. I needed to be in an environment they are where teachers are happy to be teachers. And I reached out. I reached out and someone recommended Lyft, and that was how I joined. And I
I
am
like I
grateful.
like the part. I like the part where you say when teachers are happy to be teachers. How do you think that they're happy to be teachers? At some point, I almost gave Miss Rahina a heart attack, and I said I didn't want to teach anymore. I want to change my job. What's going on here?
Oh, wow.
Are you sure that we are happy to be teachers?
I am. I
Well,
for
this is
one,
the
I
way.
am.
Yes, you are. No, no, no. You shouldn't be using the word you stumbled. You had it in you, but you didn't know you had it
Okay.
in you. So you didn't stumble
Yes, I,
until. Yes, you had it in you, but you didn't know. Like the oak, she also was passionate, or is a passionate teacher. She knew she was passionate, but you didn't know. You just discovered yourself that you're a passionate person and you are passionate about teaching. So imagine you being passionate about teaching and you are starting with early years. Nobody does that. I became passionate yes, I became passionate at the job, not before the job. So you didn't stumble on it. Miss Neka, has your network allowed you to speak to us now?
Hmm.
Miss Neka,
Thank
can you
you.
hear us? Network glitch. Network glitch. Okay, so let's go on. On the Lyft platform, we encourage people to speak up. The reason why we are having the Lyft spotlights is so that more people can, talk. We want to hear people talk. That's the reason, one of the reasons why Miss Rahina includes a webinar on the Lift challenge so that people can talk. But I want to ask this question: how is it that some teachers can frustrate their coaches more than learners frustrate the teacher? So you give a task, you know you are on a challenge for 2 weeks, but you don't keep to that. So do you have an idea, Miss Oge? Because I want to ask you, according to Miss Rahina, if you say she joined lifts from 8.0, then that's not November. I joined 10.0, and that's about April. That's around April or so, because we are doing our 20.0 now. So if you joined 8.0, that means you joined earlier than I did.
I'm not able
So,
to hear yet.
but we can hear you, Ma. So tell me, Miss Oge, what do you think is the problem? Why are teachers or adults, you know, acting like learners? Because sometimes it's frustrating. Like you said, you wanted to be part of a community where teachers
I'm
are
not
happy to
able
be
yet
teachers.
able to hear.
So why do you think that teachers behave that way? Do you have any idea?
if you ask me, for one, I think teachers are not motivated enough. Now, when I say motivation, it's in two ways. Now, first, I believe as an individual, you have to motivate yourself.
Okay.
And a lot of teachers are not motivated inwardly.
Okay.
And so there's no push for growth, there's no push for doing better.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow, I also ask myself that question why we teachers are the one
Because I can't hear.
faulting.
That's the thing. I can't hear. I can't hear. I'm not able to hear anyone.
Okay, don't worry.
That is, I'm
Let's
trying
have
to see what
Miss
can be done over here.
Neka. Let me tell her to log out and log back in. Okay, she's done that. Go ahead, Miss Oge. So we are not motivated
Okay,
inwardly.
Yes, we're not motivated inwardly. I feel we have a lot of teachers that just stumbled into the teaching profession, and apart from stumbling, they are just whiling away time in the
Yeah.
teaching profession. Now, which brings us to other factors for the fact that if you say teachers are not really paid, they are not the most
Okay.
paid. In fact, the stress that we go through, it does not equate to the payment at all. So now, and
And so we carry
also,
that into our community. We carry that into the community.
yes, so we carry that into the community, and we just take it out. We take it out there. And if you also ask me again, I think teachers are we have most teachers now that are just in the job pending when they get something better.
Okay.
They are just there until when something comes by. Now, probably because of the rate of unemployment we have in our society, so we have a lot of schools around. So the teaching profession happens to be one of the easiest jobs to find. So they just teach pending when they get something that they can take care of the bills probably, or something that they enjoy doing probably. And because of that, they give it what they feel it deserves until when they move on to something better.
Okay. Miss Mary, over to you. Miss Neka, can you hear us? Hello, Miss Neka.
I don't
If
think
your
you
network
can hear
doesn't
me.
let you speak, you are going to come back on teacher stories. If your network doesn't speak, you have to come back on the next show. We will not let you go. You have to tell us your story.
No,
Oh,
she's out.
dear Lord. She's
Maybe
gone
leave
out
her
again.
there.
Okay, so Miss Rahina says, she said, passion was not it for her. It was a fear of hunger. That made her.
Exactly. All the things that I
My
said.
goodness. Okay, so Miss Anita, you tutor from home, right? You're an online tutor.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so
Present. Yes.
how can parents support learning at home without putting pressure on their children? Do you know how parents can support learning at home?
Um, First, it's to understand the child. Now, I
Okay.
think we expect too much from our children now. And
Okay.
most times it doesn't come from a place of understanding. It comes from a place of competition. The fact
Oh,
that you think your friend's child is doing that. Now you have a parent say that my friend's child can write 1 to 50, and that is why they want their child to write 1 to 200 so that they can brag. They can
okay.
brag to their friends also that my child can do it. So, but if parents can learn to understand their children, understand the fact that no child is the same, and we all have the way we learn and the pace at which we learn.
Okay.
If they can understand that, understand what works for their child, they should be able to work better with their children, giving that child the necessary support they need. Now, one child can be, yes, we have most learners are multisensory learners. Yes, they learn through most what they hear, what they see, and the rest of it. But some are more visual, while some are they work more with their hands. Now, if you can be able to understand which one works better for your child, then you should support your child better. So, if I have a parent, I will tell the parents to understand that child first. Understand what works for your child. Understand what kind of learner your child is before you support your child. Now, a lot of parents are giving it. If you Some parents even um ask for tutoring section for their child, not necessarily because their child needs it, but just for the fact that they feel that is what is in vogue. They feel other people are also having extra lesson time with their children. And then at the end of the day, the child is just stressed. The child has no time to rest and is just work, work, work. Work from school, home, work, and the child is pressured at the end of the day. Now, when a child is pressured, trust me, the child will not learn anything. I have understood that over the years I teach. If a child is pressured, a child will not learn.
think I
The
need
child
to.
asks them to go to school. So, as a parent can give to a child, understand the kind of the needs that your child, then you can support.
Okay. Miss Oge, are you still with us? Okay, I think
Yes, I
I
am.
got, yes, I got a few points which I wrote down. And so based on what you have said, that some parents are, making the kids go online because some other parents has their children doing the online tutoring. So I wanted to ask, what it means is that not everybody should be doing online tutoring. Not all children need the online lessons. That's what you're saying.
Yes, not every
Okay.
child needs it.
Miss Neka, welcome back.
Can you
Oh
hear
my
me?
dear. I can hear you. Miss Neka, can you hear us?
Okay, I think she's trying.
Yes, she's trying to log. She's not. She's having issues hearing us. Miss Neka, can you hear us? Okay, Miss. Okay, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I can
So,
hear.
i-
I
so
think
not everybody, not every. Uh, let me. Uh, okay,
That's
this is
called for help.
happened. This is happened. Okay, so Miss Jane says the moment parents stop comparing their children and other children, then the pressure disappears, which we agree. Please do not compare. First and foremost, I think they need to know whether the child actually needs an online tutor before they begin to get an online tutor, so that you're not pressuring the child, to teach to learn online. Um, Okay, so I wanted to ask, everyone is actually jumping on the online tutoring thing. Is it really necessary? So one last question before Miss Mary will ask you a question. Miss Anita, is there anything? Can you tell us any funny thing a child has said to you? I remember one post that Miss Mary made the other day about asking her if she has farted before. So tell us, you like early years children. So let's hear if there's any funny thing they've told you and how you were able to handle them.
I think we hear a lot of funny things every day when you're teaching early years, and I'm trying to pinpoint on one now. Okay, but I know the time I was pregnant. Yes, so I'm sure it's a familiar. And then the child pointed to my big, and then I said because there's a baby in my belly, and the child said, "You ate a baby," and I was not. I paused because I was not sure if the child was ready to go. If the child was ready for me to start teaching how conception happens, and then I felt it was also not in my place to start telling the child how conception happens. But then, the thing about children is their curiosity takes a better part of them. and they
Yes.
will not rest until they feel they are satisfied with the question. So I had to look a way around it, and I told the child, I said, no, I did not eat the baby, but I have a baby in my tummy. And then I said, don't worry, when you grow older, he said older, I said, yes, when you get to 10, at least 10, you will understand how there's a baby in my belly. Now, most that I say this to say this, most times you do not push a child away. But now you have told the child that when you get to 10, so it's easier for the child to now wait and say, okay, when I get to 10. And trust me, the child will remember when I get to
Yes.
10. It's better off than saying, don't ask me that kind of question.
Yeah.
Or it's none of your business. No, it is not none of their business. It is actually their business.
Your business.
But
Yeah.
you can, there's a way to go around answering questions and answering their questions without really answering their questions. You understand what I mean?
I,
Especially
I,
when
I,
it is not yet the time.
I understand the question, and I would like to say that I'm super happy that you are on this show. I know that you had some butterflies in your stomach just coming on this show.
Yes.
Yes, this is yes, and I'm happy that you are able to answer these questions. I mean, you're enlightening us. You're a brilliant teacher. This is what Lift does. Lift encourages us to speak up, speak out, let people know what you're doing. It's not that difficult. Yes, it was difficult for me. And Miss Rahina hasn't told you my story. She threatened me. My very first webinar was with Miss Mary. And after that webinar, she said I was looking like somebody who wanted to cry. And I'm going to do another one. That's what she said. And I said, no, now let this webinar thing just finish and let me rest. No, she said, if it's either you are doing another one with me, or I'll have five other people do a webinar with you. Now that is my story of how teacher story started. And so I took the bull by the horn and I can do this now. So I'm happy that you are able to speak up. I wish we had other Lift members here, especially the ones who have identified to be on the spotlight for teacher stories. We are encouraging you to speak out. See how brilliantly you have answered the questions. I've even taken down notes from you. We learn from each other, and that's one thing I like about Lift. We have brilliant educators. Excuse me. We have brilliant educators. I have met brilliant people, but some people just shy away from speaking up and putting themselves out there. So thank you very much, Miss Anita. Miss Mary, do you have any question for her? The Oaks seem to be having lots of problems with her network. While she struggles with it, hopefully she'll get through to us. Do you have any question for Miss Oge?
All right. Thank you very much, Mrs. Anita. It's been amazing with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, from your experience so far as a teacher, you said you've been teaching for the past 6 years, right?
Yes.
So, from your
Yes.
experience so far, what signs show the current system is struggling from your experience?
All right. I didn't hear the question.
Miss Mary, take the
Can
question
you hear
again.
me? Okay. I said you've been teaching for the past 6 years, and of
Yes.
course, you had different experiences. So, now from your experience, what signs show that the current system is struggling?
Okay, I heard. What sign shows that the present
Current
system
system
is
is struggling.
the
Yes,
current
yes. We are
system?
talking about why traditional schools are failing the future professionals. So, from your experience,
Um, if you ask me, I would say transitioning from analog to the digital age, both in our methodologies and in the way we carry out our work, down to the way we submit our work, the way our exams are being assessed, even our curriculum are being planned. I think all of these are signs that it is failing. Now, I think we should go beyond where we, especially in Nigeria, I want us to go beyond the phase where a child in primary school is offering 12, 13 to 15 subjects. It is unnecessary. It is unnecessary. If we can come to the point where we are going beyond just learning about addition, multiplication, subtraction, and how it can affect our world, like the use technologies, imputing technologies into our curriculum, it will help us. I think it will help us better. And it has to start with us. Because if we don't even know how to use these technologies, how do we then teach our learners? If we do not know about the use of Google, Doc, how do we then teach our learners how to do that? So, if you ask me, one of the signs the fact that we have decided to remain the in our analog way of doing things instead of moving forward, it's actually a call, a cry for help. It's a cry for help because we cannot we cannot do what we do not practice. We cannot teach what we do not practice now. We cannot teach what we do not practice. Now, for us to be able to teach these future generations, because we are a gap between the analog age and if we cannot teach this digital, if we cannot use those tools, then it's difficult for us to teach them. And then the future generation will suffer more because it will come to a point where they cannot do without it, especially in Nigeria. I think Nigeria, probably other countries have moved on. They have adapted to the modern way. But we in Nigeria, especially we in the north, now I am in Plateau State, I am in just Plateau State. And
Mm.
trust me, there are a lot of schools here that are behind a lot of things, including private schools. It's not even about just the government. Government is worse in this part of the world, but including private schools, there are a lot of things that we need to do. And I am not sure if it's through teachers conferences because most times we don't even know who organize them. We don't even know when they are held. So we cannot even necessarily give suggestions about how these things are done. Like what Ms. Igwe said, that they gave award and she doesn't know how the criteria that they use to judge them. And that's how these things happen. So we cannot even make suggestions. A lot of things happen in the school that the government are not even aware of. Now, sometimes someone will here in just Plateau State, and then the book contains a lot of words that are not supposed to be exposed to a child. Now, if the children, the book, the school, I don't know how, through who, I don't know how it happened, but the school adapted the book as their literature book, and these children were reading it. I am not sure if the management read the book, the literature teacher read the book, and now it is someone else that stumbled on the book that is now wondering how a child is reading this book.
This kind of book.
So you can imagine the neglect,
Mm.
how we found ourselves in this. That's when I read it, because someone tagged me to a story and the person was like, how is this adverted in schools? And then I said, my concern is how it even got into the school in the first place, how it is a literature book. Is it that the government ministry board, nobody saw the book, the school management, nobody read the book, the literature teacher did not read the book, and how is it a child now that is now reading the book and asked to give reports on that book, a JS1 child. So later on, after made a lot of posts, did a lot of tagging, now the Ministry of Education responded and said that the person that wrote the book was a Frenchman, and the book was written for adults, not children. So that was what they
Hmm.
came up with. So if it was not written for children, how come it was found in a child's book, in a school setting? So we really need to do a lot. We really need to, I don't know how else to say it, but I feel we have a lot of things to do. We have a long way to go to bridge the gap. We actually do. Miss Neka is back.
All right. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Miss Neka, can you hear us now?
I don't think so. Um,
Unmute your mic if you can hear us. Your mic is muted.
Yes, can you hear
Yes.
me now?
Yes, we can
Okay,
hear
thank you.
you.
Okay, thank you.
We made it.
Okay,
I know that Miss Rahina is saying that you have to come back for another show, but you are here now, so
maybe.
hopefully.
Okay, you decide. You
No, no, no. You
decide.
are here now. You are here now. I've been
Okay,
aching to
okay,
ask you. Can you tell us the
okay.
story of the oak? How you came about the name the oak?
Yes, it's very simple. My surname is Okafor, and
Oh,
in order not to make it localized, I adopted the oak. I adopted the oak, and the symbol, the oak is a symbolic tree. It's like in Africa, we can say the Iroko. When we say the
yeah.
Iroko, it's a tree that provides housing to many living stuff. It's useful to almost everything. Every aspect of it is useful. So that's how I came up with that oak. Coined from my surname, and the symbol of the oak tree being a tree that is trusted, that can put into you. So it shields. And that means that having chosen to be a teacher, uh, any child that I come in contact with is shielded, will get
Wow.
value. The life will be affected. When I work with parents, they are rest assured, oh, my problem is solved. If I work in a school, they are sure that they're working with a professional that loves the job, that bring about change, and they motivate and inspire both learners and the workers alike. So that's what the OPE stands for.
Beautiful, beautiful. Even though you started with saying that you coined it from your surname, the story behind it is really, really beautiful. Okay, so I've been aching to ask. I know that I see your work on your status, and I'm
Okay.
surprised that you're a physics teacher. I've met very brilliant physics teachers, and I just want to ask, based on my experience with that particular subject, you had mentioned something earlier, that when teachers realize or discover that their students are not following up or they do not like the subject, it's their job to ensure that they at least understand and begin to like the subject. And you mentioned something like you said someone they need to speak their language. So I'm just thinking, you said you had the passion to teach. Did you always have the passion to teach physics, or you just decided physics was just one of the subjects you liked so much, or you just wanted to teach? Which is it?
Well, I said that when I was in secondary school, the
Oh dear. Oh, okay. I think that she has to come back and teach us stories. Her story is one I would like to hear because growing up, Miss Mary, can you hear me? Miss Mary, are you with us? Miss Oge, are you here? Am I the only one here? You can hear me. Okay. Physics is one subject that I know that I don't know how my teacher did it. I just didn't like it. We
can
lost you at some
can you hear me
point.
now, please?
Yes, can hear you.
I
Can you hear me now?
guys, well,
Miss Neka. Okay, I think that we you will have to come back. You will have to come back on teacher stories. We'll pair you. I'll pair you up with the other teacher who doesn't have a partner. Okay, so you will have to come back. I don't know if she can hear me. Okay, so Miss Rahina says physics is one of the most
Okay, hello.
interesting
Can
and
you hear me
easy
now?
subjects ever.
Oh, she's speaking. I'm not hearing her. She's speaking, but
Okay,
I'm not
so
hearing her.
I'll get across to you. I'll get across to you, Miss Neka. I'll get across to you, please. Okay, so I had to let her go because she couldn't hear me. Ms. Rahina says physics is one of the most interesting and easiest subjects ever. I know I don't agree. I don't think it is, or probably because my own teachers didn't do a very good job. I just don't like physics. It's like mathematics to me. I didn't like it at all. I didn't understand it. How I managed to pass physics in my WAEC is a miracle to today. So I'm hoping that
Whatever
I wish
is
I
I-
is interesting, Abby, because you teach LES children, so it will be interesting to you. So don't worry. For me, it wasn't interesting. I wish I had good teachers like this. I see teachers teach physics, and I'm like, wow, are you serious? They should have been teaching me when I was in school. So Miss Raina says she has a question for you, Anita, and I'm not sure what that question is. So please, can we have the question, Miss Rahina? So when we were talking about the book, okay, Mr. Henry says once you have written a book, go to NERC, pay some money, and that is all. The books are not scrutinized. She has seen spelling errors in books too. Oh wow! Oh wow! Okay, so um, in regards to the book we were talking about, Miss Okay, they just take monies and they don't scrutinize those books. They are supposed to proofread it, I think, and then before publishing it, they'll just pack all the jargons and give to us. Um, Chemistry is more difficult than physics. I disagree because I can teach chemistry. Yeah, well, if you say it's difficult, I think it has to do with the individual preferences. What do you guys think? Miss
yes,
Rahina
yes,
doesn't like chemistry. It has to do with individual preferences.
yes.
Oh, okay. So the one question that Miss sorry, Miss Okay, take that again.
I said there's me that does not like either chemistry, physics, whatever. So long as it's a science subject, it's not for me.
No, no. Are you saying you don't like biology? If I teach you biology, you pass. Oh, I'm a very good
I
biology
passed
teacher. I don't say that. I make people who don't like biology understand biology and like biology. Miss Rahina is my witness. She will tell you because we have one kind of relationship like that. There's somebody I taught someone, her family member. Ah, and the boy didn't like biology. So if I teach you biology, but you see this physics and chemistry is a no. Physics rather. The physics is not going anywhere. Miss Anita, can you hear me now? Miss Neka, can you hear me now? We'll have to let you go
Oh, she's
so
speaking.
that we
I'm
can,
not hearing her.
have you on our other show. I don't think she can hear us. Let's wrap this up.
The network is
Okay, so the
bouncing now.
one question that Miss Rahina has for you, Miss Obi, is this. Let me put it up. She says, why does your haircut
Network
look like
setting, yeah.
hers?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear?
Yes, I can.
Mrs. Okay.
I'm hearing now.
Okay.
Please,
Mrs. Sunday,
what
can
was
you
that my
hear me?
question? What was that my question, please? I would like to answer that question. What was that my question, please? If I went up.
Okay, I think it's back.
Your question was, how is it that you teach physics? You're still going to come back on teacher stories anyway.
Okay.
How is it that you picked physics out of all the other subjects to teach? Because I don't
Yes,
understand physics, and most of my teachers didn't make it interesting for me at all.
that's what I'm saying. That teachers can motivate learners. They can do the opposite at the same time. I think I'm destined to be a physics teacher because the first teacher that introduced me to physics didn't make it lovable for me at all. They didn't make it lovable because teacher will come to the class and brag. People think you will do this subject is difficult and everything. And okay, so I used to wonder as a little girl, why would a teacher tell me that the subject is difficult? So what is that teacher there doing for me? So by chance or by destiny, we had a student teacher who happens to be a girl, a lady, very, very young type. So I admired her so much, and she came to do teaching practice. And she was teaching us in a totally different manner. I was asking myself,
Okay.
is it not the same physics that the other person was,
Mm,
bragging about? So how come this lady is making it very easy? And as that was not even enough, I had a young lady also teaching mathematics. So two of them challenged me. I said, these are girls like me. So if they can do it, I can do it. So that was how I got challenged. And then they were coming down to students level to teach. They were kind of professionally friendly with us. And that made me to begin to open my mind to like it. And I chose to study it in university. That's what I wrote in my jump form, physics education. So because those two ladies have motivated me, and when I opened my mind, I saw that this thing is easy to understand. And even when my classmates could not understand, I could
yeah.
read it, study it, explain it to them. And connecting it, I can see physics, I could see it in things around me. When you say forces, this, I could see it around me. So I saw physics as life. So I decided to go to university to study it. And another addition to that was that many girls they were afraid of it. So I said, I'm
Yeah.
going to
Me.
study this just like that lady student teacher came to motivate me. I'm going to motivate other learners. And by
Okay.
God's grace, when I teach children physics, they see that it's not really as difficult as people think it is, because it's about
Yeah.
connecting this learning, making the learning to make sense. I will speak their language, make sense to them,
Makes
so they can
sense.
see the relevance of what they're studying, and they see that the life they're living is already physics, only that nobody could connect them to it. That's it.
Okay.
And when I see that I teach learners, they understand it, they do well. So it is like it fuels my spirit. I continue to do, and of course I go into professional training. I don't just leave myself. I go any opportunity for me to know better. I go and learn better. And I say, I'm not just going to be a localized teacher. No, I say, being a teacher, I must compete with any teacher in my subject all over the world. So I went out to look for how can I brush up myself. So I went into international school teaching, then I became an examiner through doing courses. And any course I'm doing, if they put us in group, I'll make sure I shine. One, because I'm a female, another one because I'm African. So I didn't want to see myself as lacking. I didn't want to have any hindrance at all. After all, my own father supported me. So nothing holds me back. So I was ready and always ready to be on top, to be on top of my career as a physics teacher. Even when I have been to schools, I have been into management, head of department, vice principal. I still teach physics. I like it so much. So I teach it online, and any child I touch, it's always a testimony. It keeps me going.
Wow. Wow, 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 Miss Neka, blown away, and I'd like to say that we didn't have enough time with you, maybe because of the glitches, and I usually don't
Yes,
like
I
to
think
keep,
so.
excuse me, I usually don't like to keep teacher stories for too long, more than an hour, and then today we are starting Lift 20.0, so we need to go so that we can be part of the onboarding. As you know, I'm a mentor there, and I like to support our coach by being there. So Ms. Rahina is very supportive of your physics teaching, and she's like, exactly, physics is practical. That's what makes it
Yes,
easy.
it
For
is.
me, I really don't understand how it is because I won't lie, I don't know anything about physics. In fact, my teachers didn't make it interesting for me. So I lost all the interest I would have had in physics. I'm a science student, but I don't like physics. Miss Raina says she loves chemistry, but she prefers physics. And then biology is a subject that keeps you wanting more, of course, especially when you have a teacher like me. Allow me to brag. Allow me to brag. When you have a teacher like me, teaching you biology, you will want more. Okay, so I would like to thank everyone. Thank you to all those who
Thank you
joined
very
us.
much.
I
Thank you
think
very
Janet was
much.
here. The Oak, you are coming back in our next um, Leaf Spotlight. I'll pair you up with another teacher so that you can tell us your story. I had a
I'm
lot of
fine. I'm glad.
questions. Yes, I had a lot of questions I would like to ask you, but I don't want to take so much time. Thank you to our coach for always supporting us. I see that I think you're IGCSE certified.
Yes, yes, yes,
So
yes.
okay, so I we would like
I'm
to
also
have,
the examiner. I'm also the examiner.
Wow.
please, please, I'm coming to
Come
your
back.
DM. I'm coming to your DM. I want to be IGCSE certified for biology, so I'm coming to your DM, and we would
Yeah,
like you
very
to
easy.
share that.
Very easy. Very
Yes,
easy.
okay. So we'd like you to share that information to our group for anyone who would like to um, take the exam and become certified. Miss Rahina says I should come for tutorials, physics tutorials. Yes, I'd rather go to the Hope than go to you because you are going to be threatening me. Miss Rahina threatens me a lot. So I won't go to her. I won't go to her. I will go to
She's
the
our
Hope.
coach. She's our
No, no, no.
coach.
Not this
We
one. She will
cherish
use the
her.
cane. She will knock my head and ensure that I understand it. No, I want a teacher that understands and speaks my language. So if I say, Ma, I don't understand this, but she say, okay, don't worry. You will say that I will explain it. But if it's Miss Rahina, she's going to knock my head. I'm not going there. Anyway, people, thank you so much. Miss Oge, pretty Miss Oge. Miss Rahina says,
Thank
why is your
you.
haircut like her own? That's the question she wanted to ask you. She said, why is your
Okay.
haircut like hers? Thank you, Miss Mary, for being my co-host. Let's go
Thank you,
over
ma'am.
to our
You.
Lift 20.0. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Raheen, Miss Rahina. And we call it the end. We've come to the end of the show. Any last words? I usually like to ask for last words. Miss Oge, no last words for you, the Oak, because you're coming back. So, Miss Oge, what do you have to tell us?
Okay, yes.
Today is a
What is the message for today?
Miss Mary, we didn't hear you.
Okay, I wanted to ask Mrs. Age the last question.
Okay,
And
you
the
have a question
question
for her,
says,
guys.
yes, yes, ma'am. So, what
Right.
is one message would you give to educators who truly want to prepare for students for the future? What is that
Okay.
one message you would like
that
to give to
question.
educators?
Speak louder, Miss Mary.
All right, I
Question
said,
for
what? I can't hear you, Mrs. Okay.
okay, okay. I said is the question for me. I wanted to be
Yes,
sure.
it is.
Yes,
Yes.
ma, for
That's
you.
your final question.
Okay, let me repeat
Okay.
myself again. Let me repeat myself again. I said, what is one message you would like to give to educators who want to prepare students for the future?
And add your last words.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm not sure I heard. You said one of what's the last
What
word I
is
want
one
to say?
message
One message.
message for educators who
Okay.
are preparing students for exams? What is your message to those people? To educators who
Okay, who
prepare
are
students for exams?
Yes, for the
okay.
future. Yeah.
Okay, for the
Yes,
future.
I
For the
want
future.
okay, I want to say that they are shaping lives.
Yeah.
It's going beyond just they are shaping lives. They are I in the teacher summit yesterday I heard something and it said children is continuity. Yes, it stayed with me. So they are
Oh, I love
shaping
it.
lives,
Yeah.
they are changing the future, and what we do matters. So let's look at it.
Okay, so happy
Okay.
device.
So they are
We do
shaping
matter.
lives. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a good night rest. See you on our platform. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.